So, Katrina, how much feedback on that 40-minute press conference are you getting?
Tons of feedback. You know, my inbox is so full right now from so many people across the country saying, finally. This is one of those situations where when Mr. Trump held this fundraiser, this was a spontaneous fundraiser, put it together within 24 hours. We had been saying it was going to take a little bit of time to vet some of these organizations, to bring in the money that was pledged, by the way, not on hand. And for weeks, almost every day, we heard about the veterans fundraisers and where's the money. Mr. Trump is not a politician. Mr. Trump has been doing things for people his whole life. So this idea that somehow there was some animus reason that Mr. Trump did this, I mean, really showed today in the media's now covering of the actual fundraiser, really goes to show. And people are so fed up and frustrated with the hypocrisy on the way Republicans are covered versus the way Democrats are covered or lack thereof.
So you feel like there is clearly a bias. But speaking of Democrats, Hillary Clinton's campaign is planning a series of events to take on Trump's record on vets issues. So her campaign apparently is going to have speakers who are all vets, I should state, in Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Florida, Colorado, so all battleground states. Are you planning to counter that counter?
Look, I'm sure we will. I mean, this is one of those issues that Mr. Trump has been extremely strong on. And you know, there are two groups of people that I've seen personally Mr. Trump get a little emotional about, and that is veterans who have been treated completely unfairly. When you have illegal aliens that are getting treatment faster than veterans, that's absurd. And this is a Hillary Clinton policy, by the way, someone that's been in office, someone that has been in public life, that First Lady being a senator and Secretary of State, and has done what for veterans? Absolutely nothing. This is something that is close to Mr. Trump's heart, and over the campaign trail, when he saw an opportunity to do something for veterans, he did it. He took action, and that's the kind of leader that we need.
Now, speaking of fighting, so he's obviously fighting Hillary Clinton, and it looks like that is going to be the matchup in November, although TBD on the Democratic side. But he's still fighting within the party. I mean, he tweeted out his response to Bill Kristol, calling for a strong, independent third-party candidate. He says the Republican Party has to be smart and strong if it wants to win in November. Can't allow lightweights, so everyone assumes the reference to Kristol, to set up a spoiler indie candidate. And then he also tweeted out, if dummy Bill Kristol actually does get a spoiler to run as an independent, say goodbye to the Supreme Court. But aside from Bill Kristol, aside from Mitt Romney, and we are all pretty sure that Bill Kristol has Mitt Romney in mind, how is the unification plan going from your point of view?
Well, I think the way you pose the question is exactly what's happening. I mean, the party is with Mr. Trump. He's broken the record in GOP primary turnout, and there is just a handful of those Republicans, establishment Republicans, who want the status quo. They want to keep things the same, and they know they'll have that with Hillary Clinton. But for the most part, Mr. Trump is unifying the party. Reince Priebus, chairman of the RNC, says it's time to get behind the front runner. We have so many people with the RNC, and in the states, we now have state chairmen coming on board. So this unification process is moving along, particularly now that we've announced several endorsements on the Hill, whether it's a congressional chairman or just other members in the party. Those who don't want to get on board are those who want to keep things the same, and those who have been rejected twice now by the people. Mr. Trump transcends party. Even though he's unifying the Republican Party, he's unifying the American people with a pro-America message.
Okay, but one thing I wanted to ask, when you talk about pro-America and unification, there are some who say he unfairly went after New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez, and it relates to what I want to ask you about, because he is going after the judge who is ordering the release of the Trump University documents, bringing up the judge's Mexican heritage. Here's a comment, and I just want to circle back with you after.
I have a judge who is a hater of Donald Trump, a hater. He's a hater. His name is Gonzalo Curiel. The judge, who happens to be, we believe, Mexican, which is great. I think that's fine. You know what? I think the Mexicans are going to end up loving Donald Trump when I give all these jobs, okay?
So on one hand, should the judge recuse himself? And on the other hand, how do you see Donald Trump's outreach to the Latino population?
Well, look, this judge is a problem. He does not like Mr. Trump. This is an activist judge appointed by Barack Obama because Barack Obama wouldn't appoint anyone other than an activist judge. And there was a great article just released today in the American Spectator that gives specific details about this judge and the simple fact that he is the friend of the lawyer on the opposite side. So he should absolutely recuse himself. But it's important that Mr. Trump mentioned that for a reason, because we do see a lot of these anti-Trump protesters who are very much pushing the anti-American message of the way they're behaving at some of the rallies on the outside and waving the Mexican flag. They're holding up La Raza signs. These are very much important details that the mainstream media is leaving out. So it's going to be up to Mr. Trump to get that word out. And
just to finish the point, what do you make of the relationship with the governor of New Mexico, Martinez?
Look, Governor Martinez was a never-Trumper to begin with. I mean, she has said things publicly against Mr. Trump, and Mr. Trump is a counterpuncher.
So some people were thinking she'd make a great VP.
Well, not Mr. Trump, obviously. But look, Mr. Trump doesn't see party, he doesn't see race, and he doesn't see gender. He just wants to do what's right for the country. He wants to get back to common sense governance, and he's a counterpuncher. She criticized him, he criticized her. And just because she's a woman or just because she's Latino means nothing. Mr. Trump is going to treat everyone the same, and it's been that way from the beginning.
It certainly has been. Katrina, thank you.